Hello and welcome to Pinusweater Photography. And if you are watching my channel for a long time, you know perhaps that in this channel I usually post different reviews of gears and cameras and different equipments, and also I post some travel vlogs, my experiences of my travel in different parts of our country. And today I decided to post one review of my lens, Nikon 200 to 500 mm AFS lens. Due to corona epidemic, lockdown is going on in our country, in other countries also, and I'm unable to go out to different places, so I cannot post travel vlogs. In this episode particularly, I will tell you about my experiences with that Nikon 200 to 500 mm lens. This is my favorite lens, and in the photography world it is liked by amateurs and also professionals, but I will still tell you both the pros and cons of this lens. Okay, so please continue to watch, don't go anywhere. So welcome back. Now first a disclaimer that this is not a technical review. If you want technical review, there are different channels and different websites and you can go there. This is basically my user experience or my views about the lens, what I have experienced in the past while photographing with this lens, that I will share with you. And I bought this lens about almost 4 years ago in 2016 December, and that is, I think, 1.5 years after Nikon officially released this lens worldwide. So this was long ago, and I photographed quite a lot of birds and animals also. Mainly I have used for birding. I love bird photography. So I will show you some samples also in the later part of the video. In the first part of the video, I will tell you about the specs, then I will come to the pros and cons of the lens. Now I will discuss first the specs of this lens. So the lens is actually Nikkor AFS 200 to 500 mm f 5.6e ED-VR, and that is the description given by Nikon website. So AFS means that is a autofocusing lens, and S stands for silent wave technology, autofocusing, that is it can focus silently. And now this is a basically FX lens, that means it will go with the FX cameras, and if you use this lens with FX camera, that is a full frame camera, then the focal length will be 200 to 500, that is a 2.5 into zoom. And if you use it in APS-C size crop sensor camera like say D7000 series, D5000 series or D500, then it will produce 300 mm to 750 mm of focal length equivalent. So now other specs of this lens, that is this lens has VR. Nikon claims about 5.5 stops of VR, and that is I think huge, and that is beneficial in the way that you can use this VR for shooting in low light condition where your shutter speed will be very low. Amazing feature for this lens. Now there is one additional sport mode effective for tracking erratically moving object, and that is a good thing. And now it has also SWM, that is a silent wave motor. What is that thing? That is for quiet and smooth focusing of the lens. You have seen in the past perhaps, and if you have the prime lens, that is 300 mm prime lens AFS, perhaps you have heard the sound, that whirring sound that the lens produces, but in this lens the sound is very less. I will not say that it is completely silent, but the sound is very less, almost quiet. Then there is STM motor, that is a stepping motor, and this stepping motor is beneficial when you shoot videos, and there will not be hunting, and that will produce a smooth video transition, and also there will be no sound recorded in the video. So that is a awesome feature. Now it has maximum aperture of 5.6 all throughout the focal length. That is I think what I'll say, that is wonderful, because other competitor lenses like Tamron or Sigma, they start from like f6.3, and this is f5.6, so you get a half stop or one stop advantage over those lenses. Now this lens has 19 elements in 12 groups and 3 ED elements, so naturally the quality will be far better than its competitor. And minimum focus distance is 7.22 feet. I think that is not great enough, because if you want to shoot some flowers or some animals or birds that is close enough to you, that you cannot shoot. Sometimes I have faced this situation, and in that situation sometimes you cannot autofocus easily. You have to go back a few steps and then try to autofocus. So that is, I think, not good. It could be better. So now coming to the diaphragm blades, it has 9 diaphragm blades. So this diaphragm blades, 9 diaphragm blades means this will cause almost rounded aperture, and that will produce a smooth bokeh, rounded bokeh, and that is good for a lens of this type. Now this has a filter size of 95 mm filter size, and that is pretty big enough. And when the lens was initially released in India, I bought this lens, and it was I searched for the 95 mm filter, and then it was not available in the shop. I searched then in Amazon. I found one UV filter that was from B&W, and that UV filter was very costly, but I had to buy that to protect the front elements of the lens. This lens is quite heavy. Its weight is almost 2300 grams or 5 pound. That is quite heavy, and that is including tripod. If you remove the tripod, then it will be 2090 grams. That is without tripod, almost 4 pound. So this lens is quite heavy. Now I will show you this lens. This is the lens, and this is quite heavy for hand holding. But I have never used tripod with this lens for bird photography. You can use tripod, but I have never used tripod with this lens, and I have already accustomed my arms with this lens, and I photograph birds and animals by hand holding that lens, and it is quite heavy. And if you add to the camera's weight, it will be around, I think, 4 kilo, and 4 kilo in your hand whole day, that is very tough, very tough. If you walk with that weight in your hand, then you will have definitely backache and shoulder ache. That is the thing. Now coming to the dimensions, that is 108 mm by 267.5 mm. Now this is the lens. You can see here, see there are multiple switches. I'll show you. Now first one is for autofocusing, manual or auto, that you can override also. Now second switch is for, that is focus limiter. Whenever you are shooting a distant object or bird, you can directly focus it starting from 6 meter and to infinity. That will instantly focus on that subject, and that is a good feature. Now it has here on and off switch. Now see it. And last there is normal and sport mode. You can see normal and sport mode, you can use it. So there is also one focus lock here. You see it, this focus lock, that is mainly to prevent lens creeping. Locks your lens at 200 mm. Now these are the basic features of the lens, and this is the lens hood that comes with the lens from the company. It cannot attach snugly with that lens. Sometimes it falls from the lens. It is somewhat loose. Now I mainly use this lens for bird photography and sometimes wildlife photography also. I'll share those photographs in the later part of this video. Now I will now share some experience with the lens. I bought this lens, as I told you earlier, that I bought this lens in 2016 December from a Nikon authorized shop, Nikon authorized dealer in our local area, and it was that time it was available online, but it was quite expensive. And that time I was using a Nikon D70-100 camera, and that was good, pretty good for me. This combination worked well. I have taken almost 1000 photographs with that lens, but later it developed some problem with that lens, and I found the lens was slow to focus, and sometimes it was not photo-focusing at all. There was a lot of hunting. I was not sure what was the problem. Then I thought maybe I have to update my firmware of the camera, because D70-100 is quite an old camera, and so I updated my firmware as usual. And I had also D50-300 camera that time, and updated its software also. Initially it was autofocusing more or less in the usual way with the D50-300, not too good, not as good as D70-100, but it was autofocusing. But after I updated the firmware, I was astonished that D50-300 camera that almost stopped autofocusing with this lens, and the problem persisted with the D70-100 camera. So I took this camera and lens combination to a Nikon authorized service center, and they collected my lens and sent it to service center, and they called me and they told me that the lens is alright, there is no problem. And that time I had that UV filter attached in front of the lens. And one thing I forgot to mention, that I tried to remove that filter from the front elements of the camera, but it was stuck and it was not released. I tried many times, but it was not coming out. So I told the camera service center that you send this lens with that filter attached, I cannot open it. So they sent it to the Nikon authorized service center, and after they told me that the camera lens is alright, I was furious, and that cannot be that is not autofocusing with my camera. Then I checked my camera with other lenses, and it was autofocusing perfectly with other lenses. So I was confused, what is the problem? So anyhow, they sent it back, and again I checked with my camera and the problem was persisting, so I sent it back again. And after 5-7 days they somehow opened it. I mean, I don't know what they had done on the lens, they repaired or I don't know, but they broke my front filter, that is B&W filter, and that was quite expensive at that time. That was almost 8,000 rupees in Indian currency, and that was broken. And I also noticed that there is some cracks in the periphery of the front element. There are some rubber material in front of the lens that was somehow loose or damaged. I was not very serious about that thing. Then I was using that lens in the usual way, and that was working to some extent. Not very good. Autofocusing was slow, but still it was working. Now after 1.5 years or so, then suddenly it caused a lot of hunting. It was not autofocusing at all. Shooting moving guards was a problem, and that time I decided to change my camera body. So I changed it to D7200, and it was autofocusing with that camera in the usual way, very good. But somehow then I found that there is some haziness in the front element and some fungus accumulation in the front elements in the inside. So I took it to the Nikon service center again, that is a few months ago, and I told them that you should clean the lens well. They were saying that if they have to clean that, maybe they have to open the lens and maybe they have to change the front element. I agreed on that situation, and because I have to clean the lens, otherwise the quality of the picture is decreasing. They send it to Nikon service center. After 5 to 7 days, they sent me a bill in the email, and I was astonished to see that was around 18,000 rupees in Indian currency. That is a huge sum. Why? I asked them why. They told me that I have to change the front elements of the lens. So that is very annoying, because I have already protected the front elements of the lens with the filter that was damaged, and after that they also damaged the front element in the side, so there was minor cracks, and maybe that through that way maybe some moisture that was accumulated inside the lens, and that produced some fungus. So that is not a problem of the Nikon, but I think that is a problem of the service center, and I am not quite happy about this work. And now the lens is okay. Now autofocusing is good, taking good pictures, but the only thing is that is now very expensive to me, and that is a very valuable lens, and I want to keep it. I don't want to sell it now. So now I am coming to the advantage of this lens. This lens is quite a steal. It is a value for money. Before that lens I used Sigma 150 to 500 lens, and then I used Tamron 150-600 lens. I found that Sigma lens was quite good. Sharpness was okay, color contrast was okay with that lens. The only problem with that older Sigma lens was autofocusing was not good. It used to hunt a lot, and then I changed to Tamron lens 150-600 mm lens, and that lens was again very good, very quick autofocusing lens. Autofocus was very fast, and the picture quality was also good. The only problem was that sharpness. It was not that sharp, so it was somewhat slower lens. So I had to increase the ISO, and my picture quality deteriorated. I'll show some pictures of that lenses too, taken with that lenses. So now, first is it is a value for money package, this Nikon lens. Second is the constant aperture, that is 5.6. As this is a 5.6 aperture, constant aperture throughout the focal length, this is a great advantage, and you get almost one stop or half stop advantage over the competitor. So that will give you good light, and that will help you in taking good photograph. Though this lens is heavy, I make a habit of hand holding this lens, because that is very advantageous to me. Otherwise, if I use tripod, that will be very clumsy for me. Now coming to the fourth point, it produces excellent sharpness and contrast in the images, and this is a great advantage again. And now fast autofocusing. It is not as fast as prime lenses of the Nikon, but it is surely a fast autofocusing lens. And minimal flare due to the nano coating and fluorine coating of the lens elements. There is minimum flare. Lens grip lock is there, showed you, though it is not so loose, but again you can lock it to 200 mm, so there is no lens grip. And now major disadvantage what I found is the weight. Definitely if you shoot with this lens hand holding, then certainly whole day if you are shooting, then it will produce backache and shoulder ache. And second thing is limited focal length range. As you know, the competitor third party brands, they have released 150 600 mm to get 100 mm more reach. Definitely that is advantage for those lenses and disadvantage for this lens. So this is limited focal length. And now third is the free release plastic. This material what it is made of is basically plastic, though there are some metal elements and rubber elements, that basically it feels plasticky. And zooming is not so easy. Now I will show you that if I have to zoom, this is the zoom ring, I cannot zoom it fully with single movement. Again I have to move. So this is somewhat problematic. Last but not the least, this is not weather seal. So overall this lens is a great lens, value for money package from the Nikon stable. So definitely I will recommend this lens to others. I know nowadays almost all the bird photographers or wildlife photographers, they are using this lens. Quite a few they are also using third party lenses, but I think this definitely scores over those third party lenses. Though they are good, but it is still better. And there are some people who are still aspiring for this lens. I will tell you that this is a good lens. I have used it for almost 4 years and I am pretty satisfied with the quality that I get from this lens. If you have liked my video, then please press like button and consider subscribing, because I will be coming with more and more materials for photography, that is different reviews and also some tutorials, video tutorials. So please continue to watch my channel, consider subscribing and press the like button. Now in the later part of video you will see my works with this lens and also other lenses, that is Sigma and Tamron, for comparing. This is not a technical comparison, but from my experience. In the description box I'll give links so that you can see my works in 500px.com and also in Flickr. So thank you again.